there's, to an outsider that might not know what's going on at the conference, you might think there's just a lot of yellow t-shirts all over the place, but it's actually pretty organized. There are about 40 college mentors, and each of them has 5 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade girls assigned to them, and they rotate through 12 different workshops that are based on our 3 objectives for the Shine On program. So our first objective is marketing and media literacy, where girls think that all of the photos that they see in the media and in magazines are perfect, and they aspire to be like those girls. They want to be perfect and look like them, but they don't realize that those aren't real. Like, those people have been photoshopped, and there's a team of 17 people on the set that made the girl look like that. So educating girls that that's a fake reality that no one is going to be able to achieve, and to not set ourselves up for that level of expectation. The second component of media and marketing literacy is helping girls at a young age understand that marketers and companies want us to feel crappy about ourselves. Because if we feel crappy about ourselves, we're going to buy that lipstick, we're going to buy that cover up, we're going to buy that blouse, we're going to buy those shoes to fit in, because that's what society tells us to do. And if we understand that it's really marketing and companies that are trying to get us to buy those products so that we think we're going to be happy afterwards, I think it's a little easier for people to understand that I don't need that stuff to be happy. Happiness can come from within. So that's our first objective, marketing and media literacy. The second objective is communication skills, and teaching girls at a young age teaching them the skills and the tools to stand up for themselves and other girls. So if they see someone being unkind or bullying, as everyone says these days, instead of just letting it happen, even though inside they may want to stop it, but they don't really know what to do or what to say, they will have the skills to stop it. So communication skills is the second objective. And then our third objective is character strengths. So many kids these days don't have the character strengths anymore that, people would say the old-fashioned values and character. A good example of this is every semester I have, classrooms of college students who can't even make it through a 50-minute class without checking their texts, and they're checking their phones. That is self-control. So character strengths like grit and perseverance and resiliency and self-control and zest and optimism, all of those character strengths are things that we expose the girls to, and hopefully it'll help them with success in life later down the road.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was long. And that's our third objective.
That's really good. Yeah, that was. Okay, so 2-part question. What makes this year's conference different, and what is your vision for the future conferences coming up? Maybe next year or the years ahead.
Okay, so every year the conference has grown a little bit. This year, our parent workshop is even bigger. So along with the girls conference with the 200 girls, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade girls, we also have a parent workshop called Raising Resilient Girls, and it's a workshop designed specifically for parents and giving them the tools and the skills and the knowledge. How do I raise a girl to be a strong girl? I'm going through this, and I'm learning with all the other parents there. I have young children, and I want them to be strong, but how do you do it? So the parent workshop this year is even bigger and even better. And so we've got topics on social media awareness and what you need to know to keep your daughter safe online, and to keep your daughter to have a positive online presence. Healthy eating for busy families on the go. Parents are always, it's swim practice, band practice, soccer, hockey. So we're always running. What do you give your kids so that you're not constantly going through the McDonald's drive-thru? So quick tips for healthy eating for busy families. The third objective is, I love this, when we call it how to talk to your daughter about boys and the icky stuff. So, how do you talk to your daughter about she's going to be getting her period, she's going to be getting, body hair and those kinds of things. Years ago, a lot of moms didn't talk to their daughters about those kinds of things. So how do you develop this kind of relationship? Because right now a lot of girls are don't want to hear it, no. Or they'll start, they'll plug their ears and they'll start humming because they don't want to talk about that stuff. So some tips and tricks for how to talk to your daughter about those kinds of things that they're going to be facing. And then the last one is tips and things to look for to know if your daughter is starting with an eating disorder, and body image questions. So those are workshops for parents to learn about how to raise a healthy, mentally confident young girl.
Okay. Now, do you foresee maybe in the future having a conference for boys as well? Because I know maybe in the future expanding it to not just girls.
So many people have asked if we're going to do a boys conference, and I have a son too, and he's constantly saying, "Mom, Shine-On's always for girls. When are you going to do something for us?" Yeah, I'm like one person. I would love to help anybody who wants to do a boys conference. Yeah, I mean, that's just as essential, I think. So if anybody out there wants to do a boys conference, I'll help them. But the real thing that I see is hopefully the next step is reaching out to other SUNY schools. The real key in this program and why it works so well is because the messages are coming from college students. It's a 1-credit course, and we train the 48 college students. We train them on the objectives of Shine On. And so when they're going through the conference with the girls, the messages are coming from really cool, fun, hip college students. They're not coming from, moms saying, "Oh, you shouldn't do this," or "This is what you should do." So that's why it works. We have college students at every SUNY campus that there is, so I would love someday to see a Shine On at different college campuses, SUNY campuses.
So the goal of this conference is to build resiliency and self-esteem within girls. Can you kind of elaborate on what that exactly means and what this means to you?
Yeah, so our 3 objectives of Shine On are helping young girls as a preventive way, again, at elementary school before they hit middle school, when they're still adaptable and listening to the messages that are coming to them. Media literacy, media and marketing literacy, communication skills, and character strength. So those 3 objectives are what we're constantly trying.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.